everybody. Hey,
King is headed our way. Vic, is he going to announce he's signing with Raw? Big Papa Pump live on Raw.
next, we gotta have it.
The Big Papa Pump.
Big fat booty daddy.
He is a genetic freak. And yes, indeed, he did make a physical impact at the Survivor Series.
Take a look at these arms, JR.
He said he cares about two things, his freaks and his peaks.
Oh, God. Don't forget to have biceps like that, JR.
Oh, I tell you what,
Or better yet, what would Eric Bischoff give to have those biceps here on Raw permanently?
that's a better question. I'd say give him anything he wants and get him signed. You know he's a hot free agent. You know that Stephanie McMahon is dying to get this guy to sign with SmackDown as well. He is a difference maker. There's no doubt about that. He's got the track record, the amateur credentials, two-time All-American in Michigan, the pro credentials. Goes without saying. And he was an equal opportunity butt kicker at Survivor Series. He beat up one guy from Raw and one guy from SmackDown. Handing Scott Steiner a live microphone on live television is also an adventure.
Yes, it is. That's what's cool about this guy. That's why we want him here on Raw, JR.
He should have the red carpet treatment. And I like, maybe the deal's done. Maybe Bischoff has made Scott Steiner an offer that he can't refuse. Big Booty Daddy on Raw. Sounds good.
Everybody wants to know where I've been and what took me so long to get here to the WWE. Well, since I only care about two things, my freaks and my peaks, I've been busy. See, since I got women nationwide that I have to satisfy, my freaks understand and realize when I take them to the mountaintop and they reach the big O, they always find Nirvana. And when I got their body banging, baby, that's when they call me the Big Bad Booty Daddy.
I knew I liked this guy for a reason, JR. I'm fixing to holler.
Now, when I was home, proving that there's nothing finer than Scott Steiner, I'd occasionally turn on Raw, and it would make me want to puke.
Uh-oh.
Because I'd watch guys walk down that aisle, saying they're huge stars when they're not. I'd turn on SmackDown and watch guys walk down that aisle, say they're gonna go down as the greatest of all time, when the greatest of all time is the genetic freak, and I'm standing right here. So whether I join SmackDown or whether I join Raw, understand this, I'm not here to make friends, and I'm going to prove that nothing and nobody can compare to the power of the genetic freak.
Who could argue with that?
Well, maybe this guy.
Scott Steiner being interrupted by Jericho music. And Chris Jericho, another man that was in the Elimination Chamber at Survivor Series, a man that went in seemingly obsessed in winning the World's Heavyweight title at Survivor Series, a man that later tonight will attempt to become the #1 contender for the World's title.
A man that may let his big, huge ego get him in a world of trouble right here. What's Y2J thinking?
Got his tag title belt on. He's a big shot, king of the world.
He says,
I've got one question for you, Steiner, and that is this. Who in the hell do you think you are, huh?
oh boy.
You come out here and babble on, and I don't have a clue what you're talking about. I do not have any idea what a big, bad booty daddy is. I don't care about your freaks. I don't care about your peaks. And if you want to talk about a body, every one of these jackasses knows that
Uh-oh.
there ain't a better body in the world than this gorgeous piece of meat. Look at me. Look at this. You jealous, Steiner, huh? Look at that one. Yeah. Look at this physique. Look at the cuts.
There's a peak or two there.
And think about this, Steiner.
Don't think about that. Now, wait a minute.
Sounds like a proctologist convention.
People are proving themselves to be ass clowns.
If you do decide to come to Raw, you aren't the best in the world anymore, because I am. You say you've got the largest arms in the world? Well, I am a larger-than-life king of the world.
Oh.
And a huge rock star.
Well, that's true, JR. He's kind of a...
And tonight, after I win the triple threat match and go on to beat HBK, the has-been kid, for the world title next week, I'm gonna have a lot bigger things to worry about than a jive-talking moron who dresses like he thinks he's King Arthur.
Jericho's stepping close to fire.
King Arthur, well, why don't you come on here and I'll kick your medieval ass?
No!
See, you're just the type of guy I was talking about. You see that vein right there? That vein is bigger than your arm.
You want a piece of me, Steiner? You want a piece of me, huh? You want a piece of this? Look at that.
Yeah!
You want a piece of me?
Well, here he goes! Uh-oh.
What's up? What's
You know,
up?
there's nothing more I'd like to do than beat the living hell out of you right now. But unfortunately, I've got to worry about my triple threat match tonight. See you later, ass clown.
Whoa! We does have a big match later to see if he's the number one contender.
You better run, little man. But I hear you got a match later on tonight. Maybe I'll stick around to see if you're as good as you think you are.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's right.
See, my freaks here in Bridgeport know who's the best.
There's a freak.
So this goes to all my freaks out there. Big Papa Pump is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
Well, Scott Steiner says he's not going anywhere tonight, and Chris Jericho may have just made a very unpleasant bed that he may have to sleep in here later tonight on Raw, King.
Look at those biceps. Look at those peaks, JR. They're unbelievable.